I Know What You Did Last Summer has become a whodunit movie, but who is the fisherman or fisherwoman?
What are you waiting for?
Hi guys, my name is Barry and welcome back to the channel. I did do a trailer reaction on my second channel, Bogus Reactions. If you're not subscribed to that channel, please head over there, watch my trailer reaction and obviously come back to this video. But there is a lot to unpack in this one. We see the fisherman or fisherwoman a lot more in this trailer than we do in the last trailer. And that doesn't mean there's just one fisherman or fisherwoman. There could be a man and a woman, two women, two men, who knows? But in this video, I'm going to try and break it down as best as I can. There might be spoilers in this video, guys. I don't know what goes on. I don't know what's going to happen in this movie. All I can do is break it down as best as I can and give you my thoughts on what I think's going to happen. I don't mean to blow my own horn, but I feel like I'm pretty good at doing trailer breakdowns. The last trailer breakdown that I'd done for Final Destination Bloodlines went pretty well because I guessed a few things that was totally out there and they ended up happening. They ended up happening to the point where the actor that played Eric from Bloodlines actually sent me a private message congratulating me on how much I got right. So hopefully I can get some stuff right in this video. So if we start off with the wedding at the beginning of the trailer, there is something pretty sus about this guy here. He looks like he's a little bit jealous of the newly married couple. And that then screams out to me that if he survives at the beginning of the movie, which he does do, then he might be one of the major suspects of possibly one of the killers. Why is he killing people after the accident? Who knows? Maybe he's using that as an excuse and pretending that someone is after them that was similar to what happened in the late 90s with Julian Ray. Maybe he's using that tragedy as an excuse to go after her and him. Obviously in the first trailer, her partner did die. So he here is, to me, one of the suspects. If you look at everyone else seems happy for the couple apart from that guy. I also thought that from this scene, when she opens up the letter, I Know What You Did Last Summer, I thought her partner was already dead at that point, but he clearly isn't because he's alive and well right there. I also have to assume that this is the first letter any of them get, which is obviously set today from what happened a year ago. She's the first person to open up a letter that says, I know what you did last summer. This is another suspect in my book. I feel like she's possibly going to be one of the killers. Obviously, it's too early to tell, but she seems like she's an outsider and doesn't really fit in with the group. I've got to hand it to them though, that road there looks exactly identical to the road from the original in 1997. Of course, it's obviously called I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I'm assuming that that could potentially be the exact same road that the accident happened in 1997, or 1996, I should say. This guy seems like the leader of the group. I did mention in my trailer reaction that he reminds me of Ryan Phillippe's character Barry. Hey Barry. He reminds me of Barry. He obviously feels like he should tell them what to do and what not to say. I think the good thing about this trailer is I don't know who the main character is going to be. Is it going to be this girl or is it going to be this other girl? So it feels like the two of them are maybe sharing that lead role. Maybe that's a good thing so that we don't know who might survive or who might be the lead character. We get the scene when Danny, or Daniel, I'm assuming that's his name, he dies here just like he did in the trailer, the first trailer. I'm going to guess that he's going to be the first kill that's set a year after the events of the accident because he's obviously dead in both of these trailers. I don't know whose house this is. Is it the guy that I think is playing the Barry character in this movie? Whoever it is obviously rich, unless it's nobody's house, unless it's like a club that they go to. But I can bet your bottom dollar that's someone's house. And of course, this is after the events of her partner / husband dying, so she's obviously not in the mood. This scene here, I'm going to guess this is like the Helen Shivers aftermath. Not actually Helen Shivers, but one of the characters who will resemble a Helen Shivers-like character. It looks like a department store is when, or where, someone has been killed by the fisherman or fisherwoman, and this is the aftermath of that. You can see 3 of the survivors there, or at least 2 survivors, or 1, and 2 of them comforting one of the survivors. But I think somebody has obviously died here. Again, this guy looks sus. He looks so sus that I think he might be one of the killers. You know, when you get a movie where the character looks so sus that they end up not being the killer, I think he might be like Billy Loomis from Scream, where he looks so sus that he ends up being one of the killers. Process of elimination in this scene, it seems like we've got these 4 and the sus guy on the other side, and I don't think Daniel has died in this scene. I think he must have died in a different scene. So, process of elimination suggests that none of these main leads died in this incident, so it must be somebody else that has died. It could be somebody else that we've not been introduced to in the trailers yet, or it could be one of the side characters that we've already seen. You can see that Ray owns a bar now, Ray's Bar, so he's obviously not a fisherman anymore. And there's good old Ray there, still looking good after all these years, 49 years old. So correct me if I'm wrong, but the girl in this scene behind Ray works at Ray's bar, and this is how they know about Ray and his past. She's obviously went to Ray to say, something's happening to us, similar to what happened to you. Can you give us some advice? And obviously they're going to Julie for the same or similar advice. What can we do to stop this from happening? As if Julie and Ray are these experts to say, well, it happened to us, and this is how you get rid of someone that you don't know who it is. I think that's the silly part of this movie, and I'm guessing that's what's going to happen, but that's kind of silly. And you can see here from the clippings, killer finally identified in brutal Southport murder spree. So this is where Ben Willis must have been identified. I don't think they're going to mention Will Benson because he didn't kill anyone in Southport. So the Southport murder spree was Ben Willis only. Rest in peace, Helen Shivers. This scene obviously reminds us of the Helen Shivers scene when Helen Shivers was chased by the fisherman. But look at that fisherman there, or fisher person. That's a really small figure. I know we can't really comprehend what size the person actually is here, but this looks obvious to me that that's a female. See, we do get extra scenes of Julie. She's not just at the university. She's going to be in other scenes in the movie. But again, I still don't know what part she's going to be playing in this one. Is she just going to be like someone like Ray, or even someone like Sidney Prescott in Scream 5, where she kind of takes a back seat when everyone else is involved in the action? It's cool that we're going back to that kind of Croaker Queen look. We've obviously got the stage is all set similar to Helen Shivers' scene, but I don't want too much nostalgia or too much tributes and homages to the previous movie. We know that it's a sequel. You don't have to force feed it to us. I'm pretty certain that she's not one of the killers. She seems to be on the run for most of these trailers, and obviously her partner died, unless she really doesn't like him and she planned this, but I don't think she's going to be one of the killers. So you can clearly see here that the person I think is sus is being attacked by one of the fishermen or fisherwomen. But I think that might be a bluff, or it might not even make it into the movie. But he's clearly being chased by a fisher figure in this scene. But I think there's something more to it than meets the eye. Looks like the person jumping onto this boat is Ray. You can see the grey hair. He's jumping onto the Themis or the Themis. So maybe some of the movie's going to take place on this boat. I do like this scene. I love the way the fisher person looks as they're turning round, and you can see that kind of croaker queen in the background. But again, the fisherwoman looks very feminine in every scene that I've saw. Now, one of the other people that I said looks kind of sus is this girl, and it looks like she's maybe running away from the fisherman as well. But again, it could be a double bluff. Maybe they're just pretending to be chased so that they can say to their friends, oh, look, I got a letter. Or look, I've been chased by the fisherman as well.
One of us is hiding something.
And when this girl says one of us is hiding something, it goes back to Ray from the first movie where he was hiding something. He went to see Anne Heche's character and he didn't tell any of the other guys. It could be something like that they're hiding, or they're hiding a secret that maybe they were related to the people that they killed at the beginning of the movie a year prior. There's something that they're not telling them, and there's something that they're not telling us as the audience, and that's what they're probably going to try and figure out throughout the movie. It doesn't mean that whoever's hiding something is a killer or one of the killers. It just means that there's something there that they're not telling anyone. This girl's getting trapped in this kind of net, so it looks like they're on one of the big boats. You see the other girl who's not trapped with the boots on and the check shirt. You see her within the trailer and the first trailer getting attacked by the fisherman or the fisherwoman. So I don't know the ins and outs of who these people are, but I think both of them are two of the main characters, I'm sure. Here we've got a scene at the cemetery. I think maybe Ray goes to the cemetery to see Helen, maybe goes every year on July the 4th, and this is possibly where Ray loses his life. I know that that's not Ray running in the cemetery. Maybe that person is going to warn Ray or is looking for Ray, and maybe they both get attacked at the same time. I don't think Ray is one of the killers. I don't think he's got anything to hide. I don't think he's got anything to do with any of it. But I do believe, and I've said this time and time again, that I think Ray might take on that Dewey mantle where he's protecting the new generation, but he dies in doing so. I don't know why this girl's looking at Julie the way she's looking at her, but she's looking at Julie as if, don't touch me, I think you're the killer. Wouldn't it be something if Julie ended up being the killer or one of the killers? Or wouldn't it be something if Julie and Ray ended up being two of the killers? And do you know what, guys? If Julie and Ray ended up being the killers, I think I might enjoy this movie. I don't think that's going to be the case, but this girl seems like she doesn't trust Julie for whatever reason. There's Mr. Sus Hero attacking the fisherman. He's probably saying to the person before he punches them, I'm not going to hurt you so hard. I just want to make it look as if I'm not the killer. Bam! And as you can see, they're holding the person back. This person's a lot smaller than this guy. That's a woman, and there's no arguments behind it, guys. That's a woman.
What are you waiting for?
There's the callback again to the first movie. What are you waiting for? Is she talking to the killer? Is she talking to Ray? Is she talking to one of the victims and she's the killer? Ooh, who knows? But anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on the trailer? Who do you think the killer and or killers are? And do you think Ray or Julie are going to die? As always, leave your thoughts and opinions down below. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon.
I'll be right back.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Ever played in the cat?
Someone's in the back! Save